Unc, they asking where we at. They asking where we at. We here, baby. We're finally here. We got people waiting on us back for another episode once again. It's game week, baby, for the Colorado Buffaloes. It's Unc and Chico. Another episode once again. We back like vertebrae, baby. Straight out of Boulder where it's colder. We got Uncle Neely checking in with us. And it's the big dog Chico checking in from the middle of the ocean. We're going to be linking up real soon for the first game Thursday, but it starts off with game week. And Uncle Neely going to break it down, let us know what's been happening, and what's going on now. What's up, Unc?
What is going on, big dog Chico? I know we running behind, but we had a Sunday night practice that didn't get out to around 8, and they had to get situated and all that. Appreciate the patience. Appreciate y'all waiting. You had to know we might not be at 8 Mountain, 10 Eastern, but it's going to happen on Sunday night because we in there like booty hair. Like they used to say about the ragu spaghetti sauce, it's in there. Chico, don't worry about it. Don't tell them don't worry about it because
Don't
it's
worry about it,
in
baby.
there.
We gonna come. We gonna bring you like Arby's say. We have the meat.
We
All
got
right,
the
and we
meat.
go
We got the meat now. You just got to
and we
come
go.
get
We got the meat and potatoes going down right now, man. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Y'all go ahead and put in. Let us know where you checking in from, how you checking in, whatever you're representing, what you're looking forward to this week. We had a lot of things pop off this past week. Of course,
it. Yeah.
Ed Reed came by. That's another Hall of Famer. Shout out to Lewis Riddick. He zoomed in, talked to the team, getting them ready. We saw Coach Sapp and Coach Phil Lodeholt finally having that type interaction with the offensive and defensive line that we've been expecting, that NFL type atmosphere. They're getting on the players, responding. You got guys like DJ McKinney stepping up in practice. Coach Prime mentioning people in the presser, like Isaiah Harge, a bunch of guys having their names called that haven't you we might not have heard Coach Prime using their names before, but these are guys making plays in camp right now and working their way to get on the football field. What's going on? What's happening? Give us another recap of what's went on this past week.
Well, one thing I think people got to understand and appreciate about this team, clearly you have the Shador Sanders, you had the Travis Hunters. You're talking about once in a lifetime to either once in a generation, every 20, 25 years type of players. You have those on this team, but you got to understand that the sum of the parts of this team are bigger, than individual parts. So when you take this thing as a collective and add it all together, it is so much talent in that room. We tend to look at like these guys on a scale of 1 to 10 that are the tens, but you got a bunch of 8.5s and 9s and 2/3 and 7 1/4. Like this team is loaded with talent. And Coach Prime is just making sure that from a name recognition, and if y'all want me to talk to y'all about some people that you may not see in every video or some people you may not know their names yet, I can guarantee you when you get to week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, these are going to be household names in college football because we see what they do at practice, and we're just 4 days away from you seeing what they're going to do in the game.
Yes, indeed, baby. 4 days away from NDSU coming to town. A lot of chatter from their end also. But, Coach Prime, and I think I had that same mindset of, we staying focused on us and what we have to do. We know what the game plan is. We're putting that in. We're installing. We're looking at what they have. We're understanding that if we play our game, we do not beat ourselves. If we play our game, we should come out of this victorious. And that's really the mindset for every game you play, but definitely a game like this with North Dakota State coming in, FCS school, but they've been at the top of their level for the longest. They're going to come in ready to play, ready to fight or whatever. But if Coach Prime, not if Coach Prime, but when Coach Prime and his staff have them guys ready to play, I think it's going to be a showcase that everybody's ready for. It's going to be a stripe out in Folsom Field. The atmosphere is going to be crazy. Anything you're looking forward to? Before I ask you more about once again, Goldberg. I saw you post him again, and he had some things to say about to the team. Tell us, what are you looking forward to again this week? Coming for the game, the excitement around the arena.
Just get going, man. Just that, getting this first game kicked off, getting it done, not looking ahead on the schedule, just going 1-0 each week. But it has been a long time since we played somebody other than ourselves. Tired of seeing us tackling each other. Tired of going against guys with the same color helmet on. Now we get that opportunity. Everything that we have been working on since strengthening edition started in February, going through spring ball, summer session 1, summer session 2, and now with just a couple of practices left in fall camp before the game, just looking forward to finally playing somebody else other than Colorado versus Colorado. So
Yes.
that's the biggest excitement. I know that Folsom Field is going to be crunk. It's going to be striped out, as you said, with different sections in black and white. So looking forward to just the atmosphere. It's going to be going into Labor Day weekend and officially week 1 of college football,
Ooh.
and it is Thursday night football. So nothing else football wise is on TV in that time slot, but the Colorado Buffaloes playing and hosting North Dakota State. Here's one thing I will say. When people look at this schedule and you see the number of teams that we're already facing that are currently ranked in the preseason top 25, North Dakota State is ranked number 2 in their division in football. And, they are known as the Giant Killers, man. Since 2010, you look at the
Yeah.
past 14 years, they've won 6 out of 7 when they play up a level. So this ain't a team that you could just take for granted, because they're a smaller school, smaller division, et cetera, et cetera. And our guys and our coaching staff understand that and have been putting in the work and the game plan, like we would any other opponent, not looking past them, not taking it for granted. But you said it best, Chico. The biggest thing we have to do with the talent that we have is not beat ourselves. We can't go into this game starting off like we did last year and ending up the number 2 most penalized team in the nation. We got to play clean football, no pre-snap penalties, no dead ball penalties. We got to get out there and play clean, disciplined football, and the scoreboard is going to take care of itself if we do that.
My thing is with this game coming up is that exactly what Coach Prime said was his priorities coming into this season, which is to protect Shador Sanders,
Mm-hmm.
stop the run,
Absolutely.
and run the football. Right.
Yeah.
So with those things, I think that the key for winning this game also will be to getting a fast start, getting out, ahead of these guys by a couple of scores to where they're not just so heavy handed as running the football like they want to do. They're not doing the things that they want to do and running the ball, running the clock out, keeping Shador Sanders off the field. If Shador and offense could come out hot first couple possessions, put up scores, we got a 14-0, 14-7 ball game. Now they're not, they're going to have to try to pass the ball in some cases. And I think when they do that, they get out of their comfort zone. That's when we can really expose them with our outside talent, at the skill position like Travis, DJ McKinney, Preston Hodge, Colton Hood, Shiloh, and everybody back there. That's where I think this team is really going to shine at with the athletes versus like a North Dakota State, especially we get out in front. So that's what I'm looking forward to right there, guys. Running lane, we got Paris, Texas up in here. You got Paris, Texas. Oh no, y'all got the Eiffel Tower up there. Oh no, okay. Shout out to Paris, Texas. I don't know where that is, but that's probably like East Texas, ain't it? Y'all let us know. Who our top running back is. I've been out of the loop for a minute. Dang, Stank Mouth. Oh, now Stank Mouth Crypto Charlie. What's happening with you?
Hey, man, let me hold some blockchain cryptos. Just break your boy off something.
Hey, y'all need to get some Nafulu. That's a shameless plug. Nafulu on the Lobster blockchain. Get you some crypto. All right. Y'all can check that out on my Instagram if y'all want to know about it. I'll say the top running backs. Shoot, you got 4 or 5 of them, really. 2 freshmen, three guys. We talked about this a lot on this show. Charlie, Hayden, and Augusto. I've even had I think who was that? Warren came on the show and said he think that 3 backs would be over 80 yards, for the first game. I said that's a huge task right there. That's 240 yards rushing. Is that something that I'm sure we'll be happy if we got it, but I don't think that's what we are, going towards right there. 240 yards rushing. I think this team is still going to be the identity of Shador Sanders. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll have 2 backs over 60. So
Okay.
with the total probably being about 150 on the ground. And one thing that can happen in that, Chico, is that you could be 3rd and 2 and the guy run the ball for 65 yards. So you do have those explosive big plays that can happen. But I think what you're saying is spot on. When you have a Tom Brady, when you have a Peyton Manning, when you have a Shador Sanders, the offense is going to run through that arm. There's going to be some ball carrying because we want to establish that we do have a running game now. We want to establish that we can control the clock. But flipping it before that question to something you said, I think was spot on. The only way you take Shador Sanders out of the game is to take him out of the game. And that's you have to do that with ground control and controlling the clock. So as long as our defensive line, excuse me, which has been built to stop the run and then get back to the quarterback, as long as we stop the run on their first couple possessions, and they can't sit there and just milk the clock all day. And Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter and Jonte Western, our best athletes on offense, are on the field
Yeah.
more times than their offense on the field. This thing can really, really open up. But it's going to come down to penalties. It's going to come down to ball security on our hand. Control the things that we can control, and we can control stopping the run. So if we do that, we're going to be just fine at the end of the game.
All right, guys. So we had a little bit of a later start today. Uncle Neely, and tell us about the late practice, because I have a question right here that's pretty interesting. Did we ever have late practice last year to prepare for late games?
Absolutely. That's just part of the process. As you get closer to game week or closer to the season, your day begins to mimic what game day will look like. And so today we, had team meeting at say 4 o'clock, went through some position meetings, and then had practice around 6:30 p.m. To get the body and the mind and the calibration used to what it's going to be like to play on game day, whether that game is on a Thursday, whether that game is on a Saturday, and we even have a Friday game this year. So each week you're going to build in a later practice or a later day so you get acclimated to that, including the day before. We'll do like Wednesday night, we'll do a walkthrough before going to the team hotel for the team. And all of that's just designed to get the body ready for, like, okay, I know you're used to doing something physically draining and taxing at 10 in the morning, but now it's being moved to, 6:30, 7 p.m. So you adjust the meal schedule, you adjust other workout schedules, make sure the guys are off their feet during the day and getting rest because that kickoff time is kickoff time.
So how did the guys, do you think, responded? How did they respond to the later practice today?
I tell you what, man, compared to the late practice that we did in Denver, that public scrimmage that we had, which was a 6:30 time, again, getting started to get the body and the mind used to playing at night and day. I think we were a little lackluster. I think our clocks were off internally. I think the meal schedule was even off, that day. But today's practice was clean. It was concise. It was productive. The energy was high. You talk to the guys before and after practice. They are just happy. It is game week, and they're about to be able to hit somebody else.
Yes. So game week, guys, is a little bit different because of that Thursday night game, like you said. So actually, what this Sunday is kind of playing like a Tuesday almost, like a Tuesday right now. This Sunday is, so you got to prepare your body for that, especially when the games are on a kind of funky. You got a funky time schedule like this week is. So if the game is at 12 p.m., you want to kind of practice at that time to get your body right.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I didn't care for the early games. I'm not an early game type guy. I heard Coach Prime say he's an early game type guy. I'm more of a late game. I like the games that start about 4:30 and then the sun goes down. Then by second half, it's like a whole new ball game because it's completely dark. The lights are on, and it's like a different atmosphere. You get best of both worlds. You come out there while it's still sunny, and then you finish up at nighttime. Which one do you prefer? Midday, early games, or nighttime?
Well, I'm not going to say early, but I'm going to go midday, and I'm going to tell you why. I enjoy, and as I know the players do as well, if I could speak for them, that when the game is over, that you have time for family and friends and going out to dinner
Mm,
and rest and that kind of thing. When you get those 8 p.m. kickoffs, if you will, it's already been a long day. It's hard
yeah.
to readjust and make yourself take naps during the day that you weren't used to taking. And so it still becomes this 12-hour draining day, man. Give me that noon kickoff. I got to get used to being here Mountain Time. The 10 a.m. kickoff for us is the noon, in Atlanta kickoff. So I would rather
Woo.
have, that 1 p.m. kickoff here. That's the 3 p.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Game is over by 5. Man, you can get with your family around 6:30. Go out to dinner, still be back in the bed by 10. Give me midday games over night games.
Damn, that is true. I didn't really think about it. Like, way to break it down, Unc. That's why. That's why. That's why you are who you are. Now you break it down. Let the young fellas think about it like this, young fella, and like, and like, you know what? That is true. But as far as a player, just playing, I used to prefer those games that started late afternoon. But if you factor in the whole thing, you might be right. I'll say that midday, that mid afternoon, 1 p.m. kickoff. You can have best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We got a question right here from MDJ Original. Shout out to Melvin out there. Y'all can check this out right here. Hey, MDJ Originals, those jackets right there are available on the website. Get you some. Melvin said, "How are the kickers looking?"
The kickers are looking just as good as them MDJ original hoodies are. I
Ooh,
personally
so they
know
looking good. They
personally
looking
know what
flying.
warm sap he is. And so appreciate you sending those out, Millie Mill, my frat brother. But let me tell you about the kickers, man. Mata has increased his range. He is now, good from 50, maybe even up to 54. And, Feely is kicking it out the back of the end zone. And of course, Mate is able to pin that thing inside the 10, inside the 5, wherever you want it. So I love the synergy of our kicking game, whether it's field goals, whether it's kickoff or punts. That special team unit is looking better than ever. You got Coach Tommy Robinson now, heading up as far as the outside of the kicking, Melvin, the logistics of the gunners and all those kind of things. So looking forward to our special teams, man, to be able to do some special things this season as it goes on. I think the biggest improvement you make, Chico, from a football perspective, is between week 1 and week 3. So you're probably going to see some rust or some things on both teams this first game, opening up. And so that's fine. You want to be able to tolerate, survive those things. But you also want to just look for marked improvement in those first 2 to 3 games. Because by the time you get to week 4, you're truly into the season, and there ain't a lot of improvement or things that's going to happen because now you have experienced everything. But I believe our kickers are going to be ready for week 1 as if it's midseason form.
There we go. We're talking about special teams. Coach Prime always says special teams has to be special.
Has to be.
We're going to, and you just mentioned Coach Tommy Robinson taking over and heading up the special teams department now. Coach Trevor Riley is out. And then, we got to address this funny news that came out. And Coach Prime even addressed it a little bit in the press conference where he said, yeah, kind of tired. I just came back from Saudi. And that's pretty crazy because of the news that came out saying that there was a coach that went over to Saudi Arabia looking for funds, NIL funds or whatever for Colorado. Anything you want to add to that, expound on that, let us know what really happened or what the news is or not, and go on from there so we can, button this thing up, put a bow on it, and throw the deuces.
Man, I was taken aback that you even said his damn name. I have nothing to add of value. He had a wonderful opportunity at Jackson State and as well as here. And when he chose to resign and then want to shoot shots back, man, hey, I just salute you and say,
See,
move on.
see, man,
I don't have nothing to talk about for it.
see, this is me right here, man. I don't be looking at, I don't be looking for none of the bull junk, you know. I just look for, the story or whatever. So there are some. I don't even want to expound on it too much, but he shot back.
Yeah, he was critical in his resignation letter, and again, you're giving it too much attention right now. Like,
Okay, okay,
he was critical in his resignation letter of some things that were taking place, with the alliance and our NIL, portion, because he chose to take it upon himself, to travel abroad and try to build relationships, something the school had not authorized him to do, something the athletic department had not authorized him to do, something Coach Prime had not authorized him to do. So it's really much to do about nothing. You can't, Chico, go do some bull junk on your own and then come back and be mad because don't nobody want to support it. But
yeah.
again, God bless. We good. We focused on North Dakota State and not Saudi Arabia. We good.
All right, yeah, we good on that. I didn't know it was that silly. You know what I mean? From the beginning. Okay. Anyways, but I was going to go to uh, piggybacking off Coach Tommy Robinson being with the special teams. And I was going to go to a position that probably no one ever talks about on their pregame show, postgame show, whatever it is. We talking about the long snappers, dog. And we got some guys at the long snapper position. We're not really sure who's going to be on the field yet. Coach Prime said, the governor out there making his case wanting to be on the field. We brought in I think Landers is
Yeah.
a snapper also. Any word on the competition there? We just need to just wait and see who's on the field, how it plays out, like Coach Prime said, because it really don't matter who starts; it's about who finish.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, this ain't no Coach Prime talk. This Neely talk. Uh, I like for guys to be comfortable with who they're depending on. So, like for instance, if it is a field goal and it's 53 yards or less, you have Mata kicking it. You have Mate as the holder. Mata and Mate need to say who the snapper gonna be. I'm not
Yeah,
taking anything away from a head coach or a special teams coach, but I want to put Mata in every position that he can be to be successful. It's the same thing with Mate when he's punting. Who do you want to catch the ball from? Because from my naked eye, and again, this is Neely talking, from my naked eye, all three of the long snappers get the ball back there, but I ain't the one catching it and kicking it. So the guy that's catching it and kicking it is the one who needs to be comfortable with who's doing the snapping.
yeah. I agree with that too because hey, y'all gonna have to be on the same page. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people don't realize how important and that is because it usually goes off without a hitch, right? The
Yeah,
snap, the hold, and the kick. That's three elements that something can easily go wrong,
yeah.
from that.
It's
I,
to me, man. It's much like a relay race in track and field. When you're
yeah.
extending the baton, you can have four runners, who are 9.5 seconds in their speed, but if
Hmm.
they don't work well together on the exchange, speed don't mean a damn thing. And
Nothing.
so, I'm looking for y'all tell me who you want to snap it like that. That's who I want you to have because I don't want you to have any excuses. I don't want you to have any misgivings. I don't want you to have any discomfort. Who you want to get the snap from?
Right. I'll tell you, man, snapping is not easy also. You see some of the guys on the team that's actually doing the snapping, and people will say, man, they don't look athletic like the other. They don't do. You get your athletic butt down there and try to snap and see how well it goes. Because trust me, I had an opportunity where they told me, hey, man, all you got to do is learn how to snap. You know, you athletic enough to get down the field, learn how to snap. Man, I got down there. I said, listen, you want me to learn my sophomore year? Goodness gracious, that was a different. That's a different beast
Yeah,
to
man,
learn how to snap, man.
I've seen guys be able to knock an egg off a traffic cone. With the 10 yards behind them and looking down between their legs and just spinning it
Yeah,
like that. Like it ain't an easy thing. You ain't just and then it's the rhythm. It's the cadence. It's
yeah,
the positioning. So that the holder doesn't have to get up or reach for it or move. That it needs to come right there where he can get the laces the right way. There's a lot of things to snap, hold, kick. I think those three people need to be in concert.
exactly. Um, uh, Staying on the special team. Shout out to MDJ Original once again. Outside of Jimmy Horn, who will return punts. Um,
Just think speed. Wester's going to be back there. LeJounte Wester is going to be back there. Travis is more than capable of doing it and has taken reps back there. But I think you'll see more Wester, LeJounte Wester, and Jimmy Horn Jr. than you will see anybody else. But that don't mean North Dakota State, because I know you're watching, that you're not going to see somebody else.
Let me ask you this: who do you have returning punts on your on your dynasty on NCAA football, college football, or do you
You know,
just
I,
do you just keep playing like it is?
I let the computer decide. Like
Okay.
I ain't got that damn deep. It already keep me up at night long enough. I ain't worried about who back there returning punts.
Hey, don't you have to monitor yourself when you had that game in your presence, dog? You got to.
No,
You like,
man.
listen, man.
You got to turn it off, walk away, dog.
Like, I'm not gonna do no recruiting tonight. Forget it. I don't need that player for real. We're not gonna recruit tonight. Let me just go to bed, dog, because I'm tired of falling asleep with the controller in my hand
Oh, but
like
see,
this.
sometimes she go, I play laying on my back and I just drop the controller on my face.
Ooh, oh no!
I fell
You set
asleep.
yourself up. I've done that bit one time too many. I'm not doing that again,
That
dog. I
thing
lay on
hurt
my
me.
side before I do that. Yeah, it hurt. Shoot. um, so Goldberg, give us our update on Goldberg this week as he spoke to the team once again. What was his message, and what can you tell us about Goldberg this week right here?
Well, man, y'all feel free to hit up the pregame show network page and look for Goldberg's speech to the defense. Coach Rob Livingston started the session off and said, "Hey, there's a lot of stars that come in this building to see Coach Prime, but let me tell you, for the first time ever, I've been starstruck because when Goldberg walked in, that's a star to me. And so he brought him in just to speak to the defense. A lot of folks, remember Goldberg as the wrestler, but forget, that he played at Georgia defensive line, played in Atlanta with Coach Prime and Jason Phillips, who's the receiver coach here, knows Coach Pollock from the Georgia days as well. And so he gave just a heartfelt speech, about enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, because when you get out of here and look back, these are going to be the best days of your life. And what the role of the defense is, and being nasty and tenacious. And I think it was a message that was well received by the defensive players. Oh, I can't hear. There you go.
Shouts out to Goldberg. My bad. I'll be tripping sometime. But shout out to Goldberg, man. We're gonna like Uncle Neely said, we'll have him on Prime Parents coming soon. I saw some highlights from him also from Georgia and Atlanta, where and a lot of people can't say this, but he can. He said, man, I tackled Emmitt Smith. I tackled Emmitt Smith. That's like somebody said I sacked Tom Brady or somebody. I tackled Emmitt Smith, dog. That's huge to say. So Goldberg, he said, I'm a D lineman first.
Yeah.
It might not look like it now as he's lost that weight or whatever, but back then
he said that's what he wanted on his headstone when he passes. Here lies just a D lineman. That's all.
Wow. I don't know. Hey, you're gonna have to order that one, Goldberg, because we know there's way more. You are way more than a D lineman to a whole lot of people out there. So, shouts out to the legend Goldberg.
Let me floss a little bit and say this, because this is what you say. I'm flossing.
Here we go. Pop your collar like E40 in them.
I was texting with Goldberg today, and he will be at the game this week.
Well, guess who I was texting with? My cousin who liked Goldberg. He was a big fan of him.
Busy babies.
Yeah, he was a fan of Goldberg and the man panties. Salute Will and Love. I play like Dion. Coach Jason Phillips got a hard job, man, with the wide receiver, Jay Phil. And that's Coach Prime Dog. He played in the league, like you said, too. He got a hard job with those wide receivers. People were asking who's going to start. I'm not going to ask that question from the chat, but we've said this a couple of other times that Coach Jason Phillips said he has 4 to 6 guys that he could depend on right now. Y'all can name them in the chat. Y'all already probably know who they are. But the 2 freshmen in Draylon Miller and Cam Michael been making some plays out there also. Can you just give us a little update on the freshman wide receivers?
Yeah, I mean, it's they're counted in that 4 to 6. So, those guys are going to get out there and make some noise, man. And I think it's going to be situational, not only down and distance, but match up as far as the physicality of the defender. And then also, what's clicking with Shedeur Sanders in the playbook on that given day. So, much like you had last year where Amari Miller had a big game and then somebody else had a big game, I think that's going to be the flow this season as well.
All right, here's something I saw today that might be the best thing we've probably seen at Colorado. We've probably seen it coaching in a long time. And a lot of people tried to give some pushback from the social media posts that Coach Prime put out there saying, hey, man, any banks out there in the Denver area or Colorado area that, looking for partnership, looking to partner, hit us up. And then we come to find out what it was about with the post today with him looking out for the fathers on the team and the soon-to-be fathers on the team. Man, amazing thing he did there with partnering them with the bank. What was it? $2,121 they got put into an account. Can you break that down for us and let us know what went on with that situation with Coach Prime and the fathers on the team?
Yeah, this is something that he actually put together first at Jackson State with some banks to come in and support the players, teaching them financial literacy, giving them bank accounts, giving them lines to credit that could be accessed after they completed the financial literacy portion. Here in Colorado, what he has done is partnered with the credit union here that works with the students and faculty and staff and the community in Greater Boulder as well. And for the fathers on the team, they are creating a fund and an account with 2121 in it, $2,121. Prime's numbers twice to start interest earning and investment accounts for these children. And so, man, great gifts. Spoke to Coach Prime at practice because this just happened today. This happened at
Yeah.
the team meeting at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock Mountain. So this just happened today. So you'll see it on Coach Prime's social media. You'll see it on Reach the People Well Off, and of course the pregame show. Tonight and through tomorrow, a breakdown of the meeting with interviews and that kind of stuff. So just putting these fathers on the team in a position to have something that he didn't know existed when he was their age, that he wished he would have had that kind of financial infrastructure coming out of Florida State to the NFL. So wonderful gesture, but it's not just 21-21. Coach announced that, has to make sure it's cool with the NCAA because don't want to do anything wrong there. But he also wants to match it and put from his own pocket an additional 21-21 in, for the players that have kids. He did announce this near Coach Brian. It's pretty damn funny. He did say, "Hi now, this don't mean go out and make no more babies. Now this is it."
I'm just thinking that somebody gonna get the bright idea and sit back. Oh, okay, all right. No, don't do that now.
So
Don't
no, that's it. So there'll be some other stuff like that, for the expanded team, and as well as the student athletes, whatever sport you're in. He is real big on making sure people know what to do with their money and know how to set themselves up for success, later on in life. So shout out to Coach Prime for brainstorming this and putting it together, putting the call out there to the community, and making sure that these fathers on the team, and he told them several times tonight during the team meeting and at practice, you are not a baby daddy, you are a father.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And take pride in that, dog. That's huge right there. Uh, Like I said, I've never seen that done before on this level to where, a coach is doing that for the players. Great deal right there for Coach Prime and setting up the young fathers to be successful financially, especially with their young ones. We saw Philip Houston, I think that was, jump up and say he had one on the way too. So shouts out to him. Let me see. Got some questions coming in. I wanted to say, Coach Prime also said that Bucky was the MVP because of what he was doing. I think that just proved it right there with us talking about Bucky. Not only Bucky, but you guys also. You and Darius. Shout out to Quinn and Keenan also. But he said that Bucky is the MVP, and I think it's proven because we're seeing something like that happened today. We're talking about it now, and it's shot and it's put out there. It's not like one of the, shout out to Amazon, but they shoot now and you might not see it till after the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, Bucky, the pregame show, Reach the People Media, hey, man, we shooting it today and we putting it out today, later on, and y'all can see it, feel like you're right there with us. And I don't know, I'm sure you guys know, but I'll say it again, how important that is to the recruiting, to the whole aura of the Coach Prime, Prime effect that's going on. It's going to be definitely tried to be duplicated, but it just can't be, man. And just
Well, I hope it
kudos
is.
to you guys again.
I hope it is duplicated. Like none of this.
It,
I was
it,
about
it,
to say shit. None of this shit we doing is exclusive to just us. Like
it's
man.
not, but at the same time, it's you can't duplicate that, dog. I mean, you can
Let me
use the blueprint.
let me be clear.
Okay.
You can't duplicate me because you ain't me.
Right.
Okay. So that ain't what I mean by duplication. What
Okay.
you can do is see somebody doing something and take that idea and use your talents to try to accomplish something similar. It's
Utilize
like,
it in your field.
yeah, like Kobe wasn't Michael, but he learned how to do that fadeaway and it looked like him. Like it's okay. Like, even this whole concept with recognizing fathers and helping them. I hope another coach takes this idea.
Yeah.
Like, just like this, it can't just be Coach Prime in Colorado. Like, this is something that should be replicated, should be duplicated, should be implemented. But what happens more time than not is people hate on this man so much that even his good ideas, they will sit there and reject it because it's him, not understanding the positive impact that it would have on young people if they did it where they are. That's what I mean by duplication. You
Yes. Yes.
you can't be me because you ain't me, but you can do what you do in your space because I can't be you either. So there's some guy in some school with a camera that knows a coach and the coach trusts him. Man, rock out, man. Do y'all thing. Like
Yes.
we've shown y'all how it can work and be beneficial. But when I'm talking about duplication, I'm not talking about a YouTube channel. I'm literally talking about the policies, the principles, the things that this head coach stands for and tries to implement would work anywhere in college football, would work in women's volleyball, would work
Yes.
in track and field. Man, take these ideas and do them where you are because we all trying to uplift and save lives.
And see, that's the breakdown right there that we was looking for, so that people won't realize, understand, or think that it's going to be a duplication of. We're going to find a Bucky. We're going to find a coach who
Oh,
has more sons. No, no, no. It's like the blueprint. The blueprint. You know, you can follow that what we did and take it and implement that in your system. If you had a UAB, if you had a Appalachian State, shouts out to my coach, my cousin Rod West out there. But wherever you are, like you said, if you have a camera guy who has some trust and knows what he's doing, then you can build with that. You know, take that. You can't be Uncle Neely, but you can be Chris Jones and do your thing in the way
yeah,
that you do it. You know, and
yeah, absolutely,
so
absolutely.
yes, that whole process can be uh, duplicated in a way, you know, followed, should I say, you know, like a blueprint. So shout out to Goonsville's clothing once again. Said that's what I'm talking about, Unc. Get you some Goonsville athletics. That's what I'm wearing right now, as usual. Ease gear. Keep mine on. You know. Let me see else. We got more questions coming in. Y'all go ahead and get them in before it get too late, man. We had a late practice today. Uncle Neely's just getting in. It's almost time to go to bed, guys, or at least get a game in, then go to bed. And no Tito's tonight.
No, no Tito's tonight, dog. No Tito's tonight. But we're gonna get through this Thursday. We're gonna get to this Labor Day weekend, and yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Hey,
we're gonna see can we get that thing down past that label.
yes, indeed. Shouts out to the whole CU aunties. Just did an interview with them. They shouted out Uncle Neely also. If you guys looking to be a CU auntie, there's another plug for them. Y'all go to cuaunties.com and sign up. You can also get a digital pass that will give you 10% off from Pasta J's and other restaurants down there on Pearl Street. It's where you can go down there and get some good eat on. No, you cannot eat from Chef Carl Solomon, guys. You can't go in there and eat with Chef Carl Solomon. It's about your purpose again. Shout out to Coach Dre. How you going to stand on business if you don't have a purpose, just something to think about? How we going to stand on business if you don't have a purpose? What's the purpose for this squad this year, Uncle Neely?
Hey man, the purpose is to get Miss Peggy to a bowl game. The purpose is to go 1-0 each week. The purpose is to get to December 7th, Dallas, Texas for the Big 12 championship. The purpose is to go a 17-week season instead of a 12-week season and to be a national championship team. All of those things are the purpose and in lockstep of what we do every day. And speaking of which, I saw a question pass by about Ed Reed saying that we weren't a national championship team. And what did I think about that? What I think about that is that is Ed Reed's opinion, and you have to understand the eyeball test, the smell test of a Hall of Famer Ed Reed. He can walk into a practice and he can walk into a meeting room and he can eyeball that thing and say, "No, y'all got some work to do." Example: while Ed Reed was up talking, somebody was falling asleep. Championship team don't fall asleep while Hall of Famers speak. So sometimes you can't take offense as someone who's been there telling you what you need to do differently to get to where they have been. Now
Yeah.
you can go at your speed, and it's going to take you longer to get there. But you can also listen to their advice and say, "Hey, I ain't saying you can't do it. I'm just saying what you're doing right now don't equate to what your mouth say you want." So I had no problem with what Ed Reed said.
Yeah, I like that too. How he would call out somebody for sleeping or looking like you're about to fall asleep, or body language. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff matters in the meeting room, especially, and the coaches are watching. That's the crazy thing, guys. Don't forget that the coaches are watching every day, and even your teammates should be holding each other
Oh,
accountable.
I yawned a couple times while he was talking. Hell, we all tired, but you got to learn how to lock in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of like discipline, right? You
Yeah,
know, yeah, you got to
yeah.
learn when to lock
I
in,
mean,
dog.
no
Somebody up there
disrespect,
talking.
no disrespect to Ed Reed. Loved every moment of his speech, but that particular morning, had we just had all days of practicing and team meetings at night, everybody tired. But you're gonna be tired during the game. and you have to learn how to get past the tired and focused on the moment at hand. That's the discipline part that kicks in. There's nothing wrong with being tired. There's nothing wrong with being sleepy, but wake yourself up, stand in the back of the room, like you said, stretch,
Yes.
touch your toes, do something to shake it off. Like when you're driving and you let the window down, stick your head out the window like a dog so you can wake back up. You got to do what you got to do to focus.
I almost literally had to do that last night. You got to do what you got to do to focus. Turn the radio up. Do something.
Yeah.
Slap yourself. But what you gonna do? Just crash? Hell no. You better get your
Come
butt
too
up.
far for that.
Yes, indeed, baby. Said notice C5 baby T.O. and Armin's in the sling. Y'all think he'll miss game one? Any update on that? That's probably just something minor, dog.
Don't do it, Chico. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
it's probably something minor, dog. We ain't gonna
No, I'm
go
finna
in on
do
that.
it, but Chico, it ain't minor. Yeah, he's going to miss game one.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, that's why I was telling you. Like, we got to stop all this speculation, and just because you see somebody in the video and they're like, come on, dog. Like, yeah,
I didn't see that, so I didn't know
No,
whether Jameer G was just
I'm not
okay.
talking to Jameer G. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the masses who take a 5-second clip and then try to make it be nothing or make it be something when you don't know. Like, you don't know. So I appreciate Jameer G for asking.
Yes.
So to answer your question, Jameer G, yes, he will miss game one.
Any update on what the injury is?
I do know that information, but I am not at liberty to say that information because we do have things in this country called HIPAA, where you can't disclose someone's medical things before they do. So when Cordell decides to tell everybody what his issue is, then I can underscore that. But I can tell you that he will miss game one because of the sling.
Ed pointed out something. Let me take it out. Oh, they coming in fast. Baby T.O. wasn't starting anyway. Oh my gosh. Shout out to 9-4 Finest. Uncle Buck up in here. Any questions, y'all put it in the chat, and I'm going to read them before I even start putting them on the screen
Oh
nowadays.
man,
You know
it
what I'm
don't
saying?
matter.
No,
The folks
I
know.
need to, because you know what? I used to do the live back in the day. I used to just feature everything. And half of them would be like, Chico, you ugly. Chico, your face hurt. Chico, you and I said, damn, I'm showcasing.
Hey, well, shout out to the people watching, live. I know people watch the replay too, but shout out to the people live. We're
Yeah.
up on both channels, so if you subscribe to Chico, make sure you should go subscribe to the pregame show. And if you subscribe to the pregame show, make sure you just go subscribe to Chico channel. How many we got in each one I'm watching, man?
Let's see here. We got almost 900 people in here watching, guys.
Woo, woo.
About
Now, that should
900.
be 900 likes. That should be 900 likes. If
Tell
you're
them
sitting there
again.
right now, just go up there and hit that little thing that look like that. Because you see behind me what it say. It say no twerking. And if you watching and ain't liking, you twerking not working.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, but hey, we live, man. Just like anything else y'all watch live. You feel me? Yes. Can't wait till Thursday. Can't wait till Thursday, man. I can't wait to see the new board. I can't wait to meet all the people, shake all their hands, and smell the air, the thin air up there. You know what I'm saying? And you might be smelling something else in the air up there in Colorado, dog. Especially when the wind comes.
Ain't no Mike.
Ain't no Mike.
That's sticky icky.
Ooh wee. Neely, oh, that's what I went to ask. I knew I was trying to stall because I had something I wanted to ask, and I'm glad y'all just brought it back up. Neely, have you seen the new uniforms? Yes, he has, I'm sure. But this is what I wanted to kind of clarify. We saw Shiloh hold up and say, these are the new uniforms, and we saw Shador. Come on, dog. And we saw Shador take a picture, do the pictures with and the only thing different was they had the Big 12 logo on there, guys. Those aren't the new uniforms. It just has the Big 12 logo on there. So what do you have to say about that, Uncle?
What I loved about
uniform.
it is I love Shiloh, and I mean that's my dude. What I loved about it is it's for the people out there who are not into content creation. It's called a thumbnail, the picture that you use for the video teaser. And he held the jersey up in the thumbnail saying, hey, come look for the new uniforms. And you can see in the picture that it wasn't a new uniform. I guess it was new-ish because it had a patch on it, but it wasn't new.
It might have been a new version of the old uniforms, but it was still, the same uniform. Put that over there. I'm not gonna have none of that tonight. Exactly, Unc. Jameer G said people be tripping. Chico acting scared. What am I acting scared of? That's crazy.
I
Shallow
don't.
was trolling.
Yeah.
Let me see. They could be playing in the parking lot. I'm watching. That's for sure. Oh, so let everybody know how to watch the game. Do you know how to watch the game off the top of your head
Oh
right
yeah,
now?
this week one is on ESPN. Our first three games for sure, maybe four, but the first three games are on ESPN, CBS, ABC. So it'll be the only game on at a time. So you just go to ESPN on Thursday night, and you'll be able to watch North Dakota State come into Folsom Field.
Yes, sir. Hey, and also Rafi has gained over 150 pounds. I heard someone say. So shouts out to Rafi gaining 150 pounds. Should look a lot bigger this year. Miss Dawn Duncan said, and I want to ask Neely about this. Don't pre-read the comments,
Uh,
Chico. Be surprised
hold on, I
so
gotta
you
take a
can go
picture of
off
that
like
for Tyler.
Tully.
I gotta take a picture of that for Tyler.
I was going.
That's
I
all
was
right,
going.
Miss Dawn Duncan. Hey, because let me tell you what Tyler Carr do.
What Tully can't do? Shout out to
Tyler,
Tully.
Tyler will stop the show, put the camera just on him, and he gonna deal with that comment.
Shouts out to Tully. Tully ain't playing no games.
No, no game. I call it BBL Tyler.
BBL Tully. BBL Tully. Uncle Chico, what do you think scores the first touchdown for Colorado Thursday? Who do you think? Who do you think, Unc? Let me see.
So like let me give you what I think, and then let me give you what would just be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
What I think will happen will be back pylon to Travis Hunter. What I would like to see is say Wester Horn on a slant, and they get tackled maybe about the 5 yard line, and then we hand that thing off to Charlie Offerdahl and he score. That's what I would love to see happen.
I like that. I would like to see, if not a long run, a long throw. Put
Yeah.
that thing up video style and just bomb on the boards. Make them back up, and then we can start slashing them with the runs and stuff like that. I would like to see like jet sweep handoffs, a lot more of those, probably little touch passes. The type of plays that Patrick Mahomes get completions on, but they literally the ball travels, you know, maybe a yard or so, not even downfield much, but then you have those yards after the catch. Get the ball in Jimmy Horn Jr. hands, get the ball in Travis Hunter hands, LeJounte Wester hands, and Will Shepherd going to be big and physical on the outside and do his thing. He's that I think that go to X type receiver, the one that's Mr. Reliable out there. You can move the chains with Shepard. I like him a lot. The tight
Mhm.
end position, Coach Prime said they're here to block first and catch passes second. The same thing we've been saying this whole time. What we think the offense will look like, what the tight end will look like in this offense. Yes, indeed. We want them yak yards, and we want the tight end to be a threat in the
You
in the
got to let them
red
know,
zone.
that yak is yards after catch. They might
Yards after catch,
they
guys.
might be thinking about cognac, and that you want some cognac as the game. Like he ain't talking about that yak.
I
He
do
talking
want some cognac after the game.
he talking about
I do want some,
he talking about yards after catch yak, not that yak.
or like they say, well, I'm from I do want some cognac. Some cognac. I want some of that cognac. I ain't talking about no Hennessy either. You know, that, that- what they say back in the day. That brown make you frown, don't it? Brown make you frown. That white make you fight. Hey man, I'm looking forward to it once again, man. I'm going to be there. Coming into town should be Wednesday. I should be in town Wednesday. Um, going to be outside. Probably do some interviews with some people on the outside of the stadium before I even come in. Shouts out to everybody out there. Y'all make sure y'all go to Glass House. That's who we need to ask about to get you some frames like these, or the ones that Uncle Neely be wearing. Go there, shop there, get you some, and let them know that Uncle Neely or Big Dog Chico sent you. Glasshouseoptical.shop, glasshouseoptical.shop, and tell them where you're coming from. A few more questions we'll get to before Uncle Neely needs to go to bed, and I need to go do some other things. Um, Kenneth Hudson said, "Do you guys think Shiloh gets his first big hit in the first game. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I think you're gonna get a big hit every game he in. I
yeah,
also think that this new defense is going to allow him to do some more creative things and more than getting a big hit, which is after the catch. You're going to
yeah.
see him get more pass breakups and interceptions this season.
Interesting you said that because um, I saw him working with Travis Hunter on the sideline as far as going up to get the ball at his highest point. Travis kind of coaching him on that because Shiloh said he wants to get more picks this year, more pass breakups, and he's working with the right guy who's been making a lot of plays, high pointing the football. If Shiloh can be that type of guy to go get the ball, not just a hitter also, or not be looked at as being just a hitter also, I think his stock is going to continue to go up. Shouts out to Coach Devin Rispers in the chat right now. Shout out to Coach Dupless. And also we
Yeah,
shout.
Riz, when I had lunch with I'm sorry, I had brunch with Riz Press today. We was talking about that FAMU Norfolk State game, man. Shout out to Devin Riz Press
Oh, I
and
didn't even see the.
that team that he built at FAMU, and more importantly, shout out to Big Riz for the team that he is with Coach Prime and everybody else in recruiting building in Colorado. Riz Press.
Riz Press 24-23 FAMU won over Norfolk State. What was that yesterday? I'm
Yeah,
thinking. Yeah,
beautiful game. Beautiful game. I enjoyed it. It was good. Good product for TV, entertaining game. It looked like Norfolk State was going to run away with it, but just like FAMU did in the Celebration Bowl, the championship against Howard, was able to come back and overcome because they built their way. I love telling Rich Press, love that quarterback that they got there in FAM now. And so, man, it was a good game. It was good. It was good for the HBCU brand and for that to be on national televised and have a game go all the way down to literally the final play. So, shout out to FAMU. Shout out to Norfolk State.
hey, speaking of FAMU and Coach Riz, got a question here from Cordell Thomas asking about how he's been playing. The question is above though, how he's been coming along, learning the offense. Guys, if you guys tuned in to the latest post, I think from Well Off Clips, we'll see, and Uncle Neely, you'll see the offensive defense line really going at it. I didn't see a clip of Cordell Thomas in there. You can let us know how he's coming along, but the competition on that line, the intensity on the offensive and defensive line really stepped up in practice this past week too. So, but tell us about how Cordell Thomas has been coming along.
Well, I don't think it's just stepped up this week. I think it's been there the whole time. It's just reaching, to this game week, and it's time to start hitting somebody else. But
Yeah,
Cordell, man, has gotten here, and frankly, when you get out there in practices, he's taken some time away from other guys who's been here. So he's really hit the ground running. Has learned, and how to do what's expected of him from Coach Phil Lodeholt. So very promising in what he brings to the table. But that intensity in the trenches has been there since we first started this thing.
who y'all think? Shout out to Jameer G once again. Who y'all think is going to be breakout player of the game? Good question right there. Breakout player of the game.
I think psychologically, because we are expecting so much from Shador, Travis, and/or the receiver core, I think that what's going to be surprising for people is that we truly do have a run game. And so I think when they see these backs that get featured and that they break one and take one to the house, that's going to be the more eye opener as far as eye candy goes. But I think the more breakout is going to be is that two things. One, we have built an offensive line that can protect Shador. And two, which is 1A, we have built a defensive line that can stop the run. So more than an individual, I'm looking at those two units to break out.
Yeah, I like that. Great answer. Great answer. What do you think is more likely to happen? Our secondary get 3 picks game 1, or our D line gets 5 sacks? I guess I'll answer that one first. 9-4 is finest, and woo, I'll easily say D line gets 5 sacks. Why? I mean, that's kind of like a tough one right there. But this first game, I'm not sure that North Dakota State will pass that much or will come in with the game plan to pass that much. But if we can get up on them early and force them to pass, then we might be looking at a situation where we can get 5 sacks. 3 picks is hard to get. I don't care if you're playing a video game and you playing on the rookie level. It's hard to get but 5 sacks I think is doable for the first game.
Yeah, I mean, I like that answer. I just want us to damn win, and I want us to win in convincing fashion. So whether that is 3 picks or 30 picks or 5 sacks or 50 sacks, I really could care less. I just think that our secondary, can be dominant and will be dominant against their receivers, and I believe that our D line is going to control the line of scrimmage and play football on their side of it. So whether that leads to 5 sacks or 1 sack, I think you're going to see a more dominant defensive line than you saw last year in Colorado. And I think you're going to see a ball hawking secondary out there, whether those are pass breakups or INTs. If we can control and stop the run and force them to pass to catch up or keep up with us, statistically speaking, there's no telling what's going to happen.
All right, so back to the atmosphere once again before we get up out of here. The big scoreboard, I'm sure you've already gotten the chance to look at it and things like that. Do you think you're gonna be watching the scoreboard mostly of the game, or you're gonna be like focused on the game? How is that gonna look this year?
No,
Smaller scoreboard was up there.
no pun intended. That size of that scoreboard doesn't matter as far as watching the game. I'm going to be watching the game on the field. That's where my eyes will be. Now, when it comes to a replay or a call or something like that, then I'll look up there. But I'm focused on that grass. That thing ain't played on that jumbotron.
Yeah. You know what? I was going to ask this too. I saw the side just being put down. I think it was like 10 days before the game starts. But that surface is ready to go right now
Yeah,
from
we
practicing
we
on it.
practiced on it 2 days ago. They
Yep.
had a concert there, and they resodded where the stage was, and it's already taken hold. And we were out there this evening to get out to go dinners, and the sprinklers are on. It's going to be ready for Thursday night, man. Shout out to that grounds crew. They impressed the hell out of me with that first spring game, and they got that snow off of it. And then
Yep.
to break down from that concert and have a football field that's ready to be played on Thursday has been impressive as well.
All right. Last thing before we get up out of here, we can't leave without talking about food and Coach, or keep saying Coach, but Chef Carl Solomon. We saw your breakdown this week from what you guys had. I got a quick little shout out in there. Shout out to Chef. I appreciate that. Um, what was the breakdown this week, man? What did y'all have that we didn't see on the video this week that we should be seeing coming up next week?
Man, you got to wait till next week. I can't give it away
Oh man.
right now. But he's had some interesting twists on things, and we've been filming. And so when we get to the end of camp, which is Wednesday, we're going to roll that into game week. And so this weekly stuff with Coach, as you call him, Chef Solomon, ain't going nowhere. We're going to still do weekly what he cooked for the week, and then also start talking about the budget and the staff and what it takes to feed not just Colorado football for the camp, but all athletes for the fall semester.
Damn, I thought that was the last question. I lied. Big announcement from RG3, huh? Anything you can kind of show on that, or just tell us about how his visit went while he was there?
He did an interview with Coach Prime and Shador and Shiloh, and I'm sure that'll be coming out on his podcast. As far as any other big announcement bigger than that, you have to stay tuned to RG3 for that.
Yes, yeah, y'all stay tuned. I think what was it? He said something about outside the pocket. That sounds like that'll be a good name for a podcast. So maybe that's what he was talking about. Y'all stay tuned for that though. All right. Auntie Kia says she needs her cafeteria pass. Everybody, y'all put in the chat, run the chat up. Uncle Neely and I get back to it after the live is over with. But we appreciate y'all joining in, whether it's been on the pregame show channel or Big Dog Chico channel. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment on that, and run those numbers up. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and such. Make sure y'all show love to our sponsors and presenters, MDJ Originals. Check out them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also, the Glass House Opticals. Get you some frames, shades, glasses with medicine in them, or just blue light glasses, whatever you need. Get you some. Bam. GV Athletics, Goonsville Athletics. Get you some of those too, man. Uncle Neely, take us out.
Hey, man, I'm going to take us out like I brought us in. We came in there like booty hair, and now we out of here like gladiators.
Damn, man. There we go once again, man. Shout out to Tully Carr, my dog. I appreciate you. And everybody else, man. Y'all checking in, man. This has been another episode of UNK and Chico Live, where you can join the conversation each and every Sunday night with breaking down and talking about, giving you the insights answering your questions about the Colorado Buffaloes, Coach Primes, and everything around the program. All right, Uncle Neely, for Uncle Neely, I'm Big Dog Chico. We're gonna be up and about this thing. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.